Horsham District on the Friday night sports show, and we have a look at the Jeparit Rainbow Storm report with Big Peter Weir, who is with me. Hey, Weary, how are you?
Yeah, going well, thanks, Wayne.
Good to hear. Well, I reckon you're going like a freight train, actually, the Jeparit Rainbow Storm. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. What a magnificent result for you guys. But I'll go to some of the others. A couple of bags of 13 goals have been kicked. Cooney from Kalkee in a 32-14 to 9-6 flogging of Nadimak.
Yeah, he had a great day up forward. I think Jasper Gunn chimed in with 7. But, yeah, we've seen a few big bags of goals getting around the league this year, Flowman, which is great to see for fans of the full forwards. And
what about Eden Apsley then? At 27-12 over Caniva, 6-5. I couldn't believe the distance between the sides. And then in the twos, Caniva, I think, actually won it. But it really does show that they've got the forward power there with Butler kicking another 13.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening at Caniva. I think a few of their blokes who could be pushing for senior selection seem happy in the reserves, and maybe that's why their reserves team did have a win there. And I see Hamish Bennett, who's probably not having quite as good a year as he did last year, got best on ground for Caniva. But, yeah, someone who's in form, as you mentioned, is Matty Butler, and he chimed in with another 13 goals, Flo, man, and I'm not sure exactly what he's up to, but he must be on track for 100.
Oh, he's having an absolute corker of a season, and right now he is sitting on 63 goals, so he has another 37 to get, and I reckon you could pencil it in, bar injury, he would be right amongst it for 100 for the season. What about this, though? It was a magnificent game by the Swifts. They beat Narrajua Quantong in the match for top 6 placings, 11-12-78 to the Bombers, 9-3-57.
Yeah, we put it on stall. It was a must-win game for them, and they needed the quick start, which they haven't been able to get for much of the season, but they were able to do that on the weekend and get that bit of a buffer and just keep Narrajua Quantong at arm length for the rest of the day. So a great win from Stall away from home there.
I think you called a bit earlier in the season that Lahara might be the best of the rest sort of thing this year, and I think they proved that by beating Pimpanayo 9-17 to 7-8.
Yeah, definitely. It just shows they're slightly ahead of Pimpanayo in their development. And Jared Kemp finds a lot of the footy in every game he plays, but he was probably able to be a bit more damaging in a bit more even contests, and he was named best on ground for Laharam in that match.
Okay, match of the round stuff, though. And the Panthers have announced themselves. 17-9-111 beat Harrow Balmoral 11-12-78, and a magnificent performance by Rupp.
Yeah, huge win. It's the toughest road trip in the league to go down to Harrow Balmoral and come home with the points, and they managed to do that on Saturday. I think in the second quarter they kicked 8 goals, and they got a habit of doing that. Rapanyup, I know they did that against us in round 1 and had that really good game-breaking quarter, and Harrow boys weren't able to get back from that second quarter. And I see Elliot Kelly was best on ground, and he'd be really enjoying having Andy Phelan in the team, who switched over from Taylor's Lake at the start of the season and just taking a bit of the workload off Elliot, and they both shared duties and shared the top honours on the weekend. Yeah,
Musgrove shared the goal scoring with Turner, 6 and 5 apiece. They were very good up forward. And talking about being very good up forward, there's a bloke called Jay Kerwood who is going very good, and he cemented his spot as the leading goal kicker at the Jeparit Rainbow Storm Club with 10 goals in a 28-13, 181 victory over Taylor's Lakes, 4-4-28, a magnificent win.
Yeah, he's a star flow, man. He's so hard to match up on, and I'm so glad he's in the Jeparit Rainbow Storm colours, because I know we'd have trouble stopping him if he was in an opposition team. And yeah, Lockie Doon's turning into a real swingman for us. He started his time at half back, and he's played a little bit at half forward, and he chimed in with 5 goals in a really good team performance. We really played the style that Batto wanted to put in for the day, so that shows everyone's on the same page, and we run out really good winners against Taylors.
Oh, you did, and the reserves got onto the winning list too, which was great to see, 12-6-78 to 6-6-42. There's a few blokes there that were happy about that.
Yeah, they were challenged at times. I thought they might do it a bit easier against the Taylors Lake reserves, but it turned into a really good game of footy, and it wasn't until the second half that it opened up a little bit, and Adam Schultz got on the end of a few goals and kicked 7 flow man for the day, and also Xavier Oakley down from the senior side was great through the middle of the ground.
Yes, Schultz, he just stuck in that goal square really and just put the big hands up, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he's even given himself the week off this week, Flowman, after he's 7. So, yeah, good luck to him.
He's pushing for senior selection with Weir to go to centre half back. Maybe it could be where things are going, Peter.
Yeah, it's either that or keep doing dummy leads for Jay Flow, man. But yeah, one of the two.
Good stuff to hear. The 17s didn't play on the weekend, but the 14s did. And it got close, and they might have got a bit ahead of themselves, the lads here. They got up in the end in the last quarter, 2-9, 21 to 2-1, 13. Is it true that they had an extra night on the training track this week for goal-kicking practice?
Yeah, this week they did manage 2 nights, which is unheard of in the under-14s, but it shows how keen they are. And, yeah, but they did get away with one on the weekend there against the bottom place Taylors Lake, who pushed them right up until the last quarter. And if it wasn't for a late goal by Parker Gould, there could have been a big boil over there in the under-14s, but they managed to sneak home with the win and get themselves in 6th place on the ladder.
Yeah, good on you, lads. And you trained more this week than Peter Weir, I think's fair to say. So Parker Gould won, Fletcher Kelly won. Gouldy, William Fisher, Fletcher Kelly, Ryder Gould, Xander and Dustin Eckerman in the better players. It was a very good night for the player reunion, and I believe that there's a new life member, Weary.
Yeah, Charmaine Parry, who's been a real pillar of the netball club for a long time, was rewarded with life membership, and she's also been a great supporter of the football team. So that was a great award for her to receive. And also on milestones, Tyler Edelston, who's our captain on and off the field flow man. He's a old school one-on-one player who hates getting beaten and rarely does get beaten. He's a great leader for the club, and yeah, it was great to help him celebrate his 200th game with a good win.
No, good on you, and well done, Tyler. Okay, this is where it happens. Let's go through the senior football matches, starting with Narrabri Quantong should beat Taylors Lake.
Yeah, I think there was a chance for them to get their confidence back into the season and try and kick-start their second half of the year. But, yeah, Taylors Lake will test them at times, but Quantong will be too good at home.
Now, talking about best of the rest, over at Kaniva, can the Cougars step up to the plate? They could beat Laharam if they put their best side in the seniors.
Yeah, I think it should be a pretty even contest. Both teams have got very similar strengths and weaknesses and play a similar style. But I want to go with the team with the winning form play, man, and back Laharam for a bit of an upset.
All right. Rupp have their new ground, lights, netball courts, all of the development that's been happening over there. They're opening it up this weekend when they welcome Nadimak, and I reckon in the senior footy they should get the win.
Yeah, great timing for Rapaniup to be opening the new club rooms as they sit atop of the ladder for the first time this year, overtaking Harrow. And I think Nadimak, who have been a little bit disappointing, they've got strong support down there, so they'll be looking to bounce back pretty hard, but I don't think it'll be this week against a confident Rapaniup team.
Now, the old rivalry between the Kalki people and the Pimpernio folk, they're very near neighbours, and at Kalki I think it'll be a one-sided affair with the red and blue.
Yeah, it'd be one-way traffic. Kalki would be very pleased. They're able to kick some really big scores this year, and you'd probably look at their team and think goal kicking power might be a weakness, but they're proving otherwise, and I expect them to kick another big score and have a comfortable win against Pimpernio.
There's 2 match of the round. Swifts play Edenhope Apsley. This is for not only premiership points, but for positions in the top 6. And can the Saints win away?
Oh, it's going to be a tough one for them. You can nearly look at this like a mini eliminations final flow, man. I know it's early in the season, a lot can happen, but yeah, both teams will be desperate to win. I think Storr will be quite happy to be facing them at their home ground. Both teams have got some really good running players and great midfields, and yeah, it'll just come down to who can kick the most goals. And I guess Matty Butler's going to be really dangerous for Edenhope as he has been, but I still think Storr at home might just be a little bit too good for Edenhope.
Now let's have a look at the other match of the round. It's you blokes, and you just mentioned before about Rapaniup travelling down to Harrow Balmoral and winning away. There is a class win and puts them at top of the table. For the Storm, it's likewise. If you can beat them down there, it sets up your season. I think just Maslin is your only senior player, maybe Xavier Oakley away at the Mines. This could be the game of the round.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great contest. We love going down there and playing them. I'm sure they love welcoming us down there. And we've consistently been able to go down there and win since we've been in the district league. So we take a lot of confidence into the game, but I think it should be a cracking encounter. I think if you look at their forward line, it's probably the best forward line in the comp. But if you study the ladder, our defences let through the least points out of any club in the league. So I think it's going to be a great to watch our defenders go up against the best forwards in the comp. And that'll be just one element of the game, but they've got good players all across the ground. So should be just a great game of footy flow, man. We know, their crowd enjoys getting involved, so it should be a great spectacle, and I think it will be broadcast on the radio over here on 1089, so people who can't make the trip down will be well worth tuning in and listening to how we get on and the result at the end of the day.
Good stuff. And what about the reserves? Because your bloke's got a couple of big outs. Schultz may not play again the way it's one game of the year.
Yeah, I think he's happy with his 7 goals play, man, and I think he's back to checking his crops again this weekend, and but I think overall the twos team will be much improved again, although Harrow always put a great reserves team out on the Parkway, man, so Harrow might be just a little bit too good at home there in the reserves.
The 17s get a hit out, which is great to see. It's going to be a tough hit out all the same, but when you look at where these Harrow Balmoral boys are, they're in 8th place and Japarut Rainbow are in 9th. They're equal premiership points. This is a real chance for your 17s to get a win here.
Yeah, I think so. I think going down there's tough in the juniors as well, and sometimes they surprise you. I remember last year they had only won a few games and turned out with a really good under-17s team. So I wouldn't be underestimating the strength of the Harrow juniors, and they might be just a little bit too good for us in that game.
Okay, Weary, they've been on the training track twice this week. This is why, because they're 6th on the ladder. They're in the top 6. They did that last week. Congratulations to the young Stormers. They now have to play the 7th place side, who's 1 game behind them on premiership points. A win here is like an 8-point game for the boys from the Japarut Rainbow Storm under 14s.
Yeah, there can't be any more incentive this week, Flo, man. If they win this game, they're probably really on track to make that final series they've all been wanting. And, Thomas Long's doing a great job with them as their coach. And to get them all out there on a Tuesday night's a great thing. And they were still out there once the seniors left the tracks last night, Flo, man. So as long as they haven't worn themselves out with excitement this week, they should put in a pretty good performance there in the under-14s, and I can't see why they won't win the game.
I'll tell you what, Weary, the last time I reckon you were out on the training track 2 nights of the week was when the Bow Bakery had the free pie night, and hasn't been in recent history.
Yeah, don't worry. Everyone reminds me most weeks, Flo, man. But, unfortunately the body doesn't quite pull up like it used to. And, wake up Saturday mornings like I used to wake up on a Sunday morning, unfortunately. But, so keep training to a minimum during the week.
No, good stuff. And good on the kids too. And thanks to the Bow Bakery for the pies. We do appreciate them. And, Weary, we'll look forward to the results coming through. And I'll catch up with you next week.
No worries. Thanks.